Hey everyone, welcome back here to the channel. This here is a very exciting toy delivery. It was a toy that I pre-ordered months back, sometime last year in September, which hasn't happened in years now. This comes all the way from Japan from the Good Smile company. You already know what it is from the title and the thumbnail. This here is the Nendoroid Astrobot from Astro's Playroom, which was re-released because of Astrobot releasing last year. And so from memory, I believe I placed a pre-order for this back in September of 2024 when the game released. He was 55 USD before tax, and the shipping was also weirdly low, and the release date was ages away, so I knew I had plenty of time to save up for this thing. I think ultimately he came down to being about 100 to 110 NZD or less in total. Now, our specialty suppliers here in NZ were also stocking the re-release, where the lowest price I saw him was $150 NZD. So I got the guy directly from Good Smile company from Japan for less than what I would have had to pay buying him here in the country. And right from the outset, I love the look of this little guy. I think the figure is perfect from the images I've seen just because he looks like the exact height that I imagine Astrobots would be. Something worth noting here is that the box does have a new logo for the new game up top. I had hopes that there might be some more differences there, but as far as I'm aware, that's all there is. The sides of the box they're just showing off some display options for the little fella, and the box here also says that I think that this is release number 1879. Jesus, I'm getting in late there. The back of the box just again detailing some of those poses for the toy, and this little description here about the face swapping, which is actually slightly different with this guy. Official PlayStation product sticker sign of approval, and a whole bunch of warnings that I can't understand. As far as my collection of these little toys goes, I've only got one. My partner bought me Sam Porter-Bridges from Death Stranding, while she herself has a small collection of anime figures from this line. So gaming and anime, that's basically our display. I really love gaming collectibles, something I hope I've made clear on this channel, and I can't wait to have him with everything else on display. Just the aesthetic of Astrobot really won me over, and he's currently my frontrunner for justifying buying a ridiculous console in an otherwise quite lackluster generation of gaming. If I get this guy open there, we have inside an instruction booklet which does show you how to correctly assemble the figure, both here in English and Japanese, which is great because I still struggle with Western toy companies and the lack of instructions on how some stuff works sometimes. I've had to look up YouTube videos for help frequently over these past couple of years. The figure there has 3 plastic trays with goods, and this is what we have all in all. Some really great accessories in the form of game references and some in-game mechanics, and some nice display options there for the dude's expressive personality. Astrobot here features one of the rare character designs. When translated into toy form, it looks almost identical to the real thing. A good thing or a bad thing depending on the type of collector you are. What I'm trying to say is that the Sam Porter-Bridges figure I have looks like a Nendoroid of Sam, but this figure here of Astro just looks like an Astrobot. It could be any company's, you know? I have him here attached to the stand already because unlike Sam, he can't actually stand without it really. I found it was almost impossible, but I'm sure someone has done it somewhere out there. His little feet have these tiny flat discs on them, which I thought would have meant that he could stand and balance on any surface, but no actually. I've mentioned in some of these videos before, but the quality of plastic here used for these robo-type figures always throws me off. Hasbro toys of Iron Man and Stormtroopers use this. It's hard to explain, so hopefully someone out there can kind of understand what I'm trying to say, but I'm hesitant to say it feels kind of cheapish. I think it's the plastic used to make the toy shine, since the design is supposed to be like robot armor or something. It just doesn't feel amazing to me in hand, which is a shame because I can tell the clear difference between him and Sam. That's about it for my criticisms though. As far as his movements, the appeal of these toys comes with the absolute free range of articulation. Almost every joint is removable from the toy for customizing purposes, so with those removals and customizing comes lots of articulation. Like his arms there are removable in not just one, not just 2, but 3 separate segments. That is some crazy level of detail. The legs there are pretty similar. It's not 3 joints, rather just simply 2, a ball joint there for the leg to connect to the body, and the lower leg is a peg with an indicator for right and left on those pieces. Also actually, the little stand there at the bottom can come away, so technically you do have a joint that splits into 3. And yeah, I thought that maybe that would mean he could fit inside this display stand, and sort of, not quite how I was intending though. For his faceplates, you just slide the face away instead of usually removing the entire half head section as a whole. You have 2 expressions to use as well, and they just slide back in place. We have a happy, excited look here, which looks really good, and this is frequently used in games when he finds collectibles and junk. The other expression is him getting hurt, which I think looks fun too, but I am for sure going to keep that happy, excited expression. They've also got a cape there, which is released in a translucent-like design, and the head just pops off there, and the cape is attached at that neck. It doesn't stay put, rather it kind of keeps sliding around, which might be annoying for some collectors, but I assumed it was going to be like this, and so it doesn't really bother me. As for his hands, he's got 2 arms there that show off the fingers being open, but notice the joint there at the top. If I remove that lower arm from the little guy, you can see that these two joints have a different entry point to connect to the body. One of them is off to the side and the other one is just directly down. It changes the posing for Astro here, where one arm can be half bent and the other is just straight ahead, and the hands can also be in a closed fist or an open expression. And because those hands are removable, you are able to just have regular arms with open hands if you would like. We also have something similar to the leg there, which features a joint with a different connection to it. Side by side comparison there of those two joints, one straight and one is off to the side. It makes a little pose like this for the guy. We've also got these two fuel-like effect pieces because when Astro jumps and holds the X button, he releases some jet blasting effects, which can be used to defeat the enemy. So if you remove those disc pegs under the feet and apply these here instead, we've got a really cool action pose for Astro. The last accessories there are all in-game items. We have a collector coin there, and the top of a canister, and the canister itself, which is like a battery in the game. The coin's really cool. It features the PlayStation logo on one side and the sacred symbols on the other. It has a pretty good weight to it as well, and it acts as a fun display item. And then for these batteries, we've got the lid as a separate piece. It features the cables that can be yanked out there. The cables are using the colors of the PlayStation buttons, and then the actual battery piece itself has those symbols featured inside. These pieces though aren't interactive with one another. I really wonder why that lid was released as a separate item. And we've also got two additional stands there, one of which has a little holder for the coin, the other one has a ball joint which connects to the battery. This part's a little tricky. One of the joints is bigger than the other, so you need to make sure you have the right one here ready to go. And the stands fit inside the display quite easily, anywhere you like really, hooking the scene up there with all those added extras, and eventually we have this amazing looking thing. Astrobot is great. It's one of my favorite purchases that I think I've made all year. This toy was basically everything I was wanting it to be ever since playing the Playroom back in 2014. If I was greedy, I would have loved to have seen some more PlayStation IP stuff given to him as accessories, especially now that this was a release for Astrobot. We've seen him in-game dress up in character outfits like Parappa and the Hunter, and you even use weapons from Aloy, Kratos and Nathan Drake in the game too, so anything along that realm would have made this a perfect release. As he stands though, it's one of my favorite gaming collectibles in recent years. I'd love to try and get my hands on some more of these Nendoroids like the Pyramid Head one and Master Chief and Sackboy. They all look amazing, so here's hoping I can find some in the future. Thanks for watching everyone, see you all next time.